Okay. Just Hare Krishna. So we are continuing with our discussion from Bhagavad Gita as it is, Bhakti Yoga section, chapter 7 to 12. So then chapter 7 is entitled as Knowledge of the Absolute, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Somebody would like to please help me with the overview of this chapter. Yeah. Some new devotee. Anyone? Maybe I will have to choose somebody. Ayan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, am I audible, Prabhu?
Yeah. Please go ahead. Okay. Maybe Avinash Prabhu, can you help Prabhu?
Yes. This chapter is divided into 6 sessions. Like first to 7th is about knowing Krishna in full by hearing about him.
Okay.
Then from 8 to 12, it is about knowing Krishna as the source of both material and spiritual energies.
Okay.
Then 13th, 14th verse is about 3 modes.
Yeah.
And then 15th to 19th, it is about 4 kinds of people who do not surrender and 4 kinds of people who do.
Yes.
Then 20 to 25th, those who surrender to Krishna Itara,
Other than Krishna.
other than Krishna, right? And then bewilderment of living entity and knowledge of Krishna.
Thank you. Okay, I will change that 8 to 12, and that is, as I previously mentioned, it is Krishna is the essence and pervades everything. That is what. Because already Krishna is a source of actually material and spiritual energies that gets covered previously only. Okay. So yesterday we were in this section from second section from 8 to 12. So we completed. I said that here Krishna is going to describe how he is the essence of everything and how he pervades in these items. So yesterday we already saw the first item. Prasoma Apsukaunteya Prabhasmi Shashisuro Pranava Sarva Vedeshu Shabdake Paurusham Trushu. Now we continue with our next one. So I said in 8th, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 verses. In that 8th, 4 items, 9th, 4 items, 10th, 3 items, and 11th, 2 items. So we are in the 9th verse now. So this section is after Krishna says that Matta Bharataram Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya Mahi. So he says that I am the Sutre Ganimani Vahi. When he's seeing that verse, after this verse is continuing. So he's saying how is he pervading and how is the essence of everything. So Punyo Gandha Prithvim Cha Tejas Chasmi Vibhavaso Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu Tapaschasmi Tapasvisu. Okay. Asim Prabhadas.
I am the original fragrance of the bird. Also, I am the original fragrance of the in fire. All that lives, and I am the penance of all as ascetics.
Okay. Fine. So Krishna here again tells that I am the original fragrance of the earth. I am the heat and fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance of all ascetics. So that's what he mentions. Okay. Yeah.
Everything in the material world has a certain fragrance, as the fragrance in a flower or in the earth, in water, in fire, in air, etc. The uncontaminated fragrance, the original fragrance which permeates everything, is Krishna. Similarly, everything has a particular original taste, and this taste can be changed by the mixture of chemicals. So, everything has some original fragrance and taste. Vibhavasu means fire. Without fire, we cannot run factories, we cannot cook, etc. And that fire is Krishna. The heat in the fire is Krishna. According to Vedic medicine, indigestion is According to Vedic medicine, indigestion is due to a low temperature in the belly. So even for digestion, fire is needed.
Yeah.
The continue project, the another
Yes.
The duration of man's life is also due to Krishna. Therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life or diminish it.
Yeah. So these are the 4 items. So when he says Punya Gandha Prityancha, everybody of us know that very clearly that fragrance, as soon as there is rainfall, you will find the fragrance of earth. And if we feel sometimes even to, at least in childhood, I used to feel so, that to eat up the earth only, just to taste it only, because that such is a fragrance of when drizzling and when short rain is there. And then after that, you find immediately the earth, which appears to be non-fragrant for us, immediately there is fragrance in that. So how extraordinary, huh? Now this fragrance is extraordinary, that we find that, see, the seed, what we put in the earth, you put different seeds, the seed actually doesn't have any fragrance in that sense. You just put a seed, immediately the fruit, it comes up, and there is juices, there is fragrance, everything, that the tree, plant, everything has wonderful fragrance. And different kind of seeds you see, and every seed gives up its own fruits, and all fruits have different kind of flavors, different kind of fragrances. So Krishna is saying that where is it all coming from when the seed is not having, but where is it coming from? It is coming from the earth. And so like that, so he's the one who nourishes it. So so we just, if we know, just we just put a seed, we just put a little bit of water in that, and suddenly, so that's how it catches it. And this word cha, our acharyas say that. So now we may wonder, then what about other elements and other their sense object? Cha includes, even you can apply the same thing, just like for water there is taste, for earth there is fragrance. Similarly, there is for fire there is form, and similarly for other things. Some he has covered here. The cha also means, the cha word is also having that weight. Cha also means it is applying for all other elements and their sense objects also. Now, Tejas Chasmi Vibhava. So this is also very interesting. Heat. Prabhupada says here, it is utilized for cooking, or for factories running, and even our kitchen, everything, wherever is heat is required. Fire means it should have the element of heat in it, surely. Now many varieties of fires are there, but Krishna is saying that fire. So fire, even in Bhagavatam, there are 49 varieties of fires, different kinds of fire. The fire for what you call yajna, a particular fire kind of fire is invited. And if you see somebody is in the crematorium, the Brahmana invites a particular kind of fire, which is meant for what you call burning or eating up the whole the corpse, or whatever it is that we find. So these things are invited. So different kinds of fires are there, but every fire is meant. But ultimately, fire has that nature of heating it and helping up with. Even in our digestion, we don't have that element fire we find, but there is, yes, that temperature is there, the heat is there, which helps in our digestion. That's why we find that people have difficulty with less fire digestion. less fire, they have difficulty in their digestion system. So it's very important that you find even in the 15th chapter, Krishna will says that Vaishvana, he himself is sitting in the fire, as fire inside the body for the digestion of our process. Outside also he's there, inside also is there. What else remains that we cannot remember him? That's what it is. And we find that sometimes the fires in different living entities are at different levels. You find there's this wolf, Bhedia. It has a fire called Vruk. I mean, the Vruk, it has such fire in its body. Sometimes this it eats the living entities lively only. And sometimes we find that the animals kills a living entity and then it eats it. But the fire in its body is so much that sometimes it eats the animals live only practically. I mean, already keeps him in its mouth. So that's like Bhima also, we find the word he is called as Vrikodara. The reason for that Vrk is that Agni, which is there. So his Agni was like that in Bhima's body also. So that's it. Vrikodara. That's why. Then Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu is the life of all of, means it's the life air. That is the meaning. That leave Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu. Even when we are living, we need a prominent life air, which Krishna is saying he himself. Or the span of life. Here Prabhupada is mentioning with respect to the span of life. That is also there. Then tapasyasmi tapasvishu. The capacity to perform even tapasya is coming from the Lord. That we all of us know that. So because the capacity to do austerity is also extraordinary. Because we find during Nirjala Ekadashi or during when Ekadashis there are many devotees who are able to fast. He will fast whole day, and next day Dwadashi also once. So I was staying with one devotee. So he was like very old, around 60. So he was so humble. He used to say that I used to say that he used to go to the company and fasting, and whole night he will not sleep. He will chant his rounds, and next day morning again he will just break the fast and take only once, Dwadashi only once. And I said, why are you doing so? So he was humble. He said, Prabhu, I took to Krishna consciousness more than after the age of 50 or 55. You are young, you have taken early. So I have missed practically so many Ekadashis throughout my life. So at least let me practice current Ekadashis strictly. So you're going to office, and then at the same time, I was practically 58, 59, going to office and not sleeping whole night, chanting, continuously used to chant. I used to get disturbed in my sleep, but I could understand. They were so humble saying that. So that I was saying, where do you all get energy from? And he was diabetic. He had acidity issues. He used to take some tablets, but continue. Of course, I'm not propagating or recommending anybody. I'm just telling that, but the capacity to do the tapasya is an extraordinary. Everybody, it's difficult for everybody. So when somebody is doing in Ekadashi, sometimes so if in Ekadashi, when somebody is doing, all glories, and if we are doing, we should not see that somebody else is not doing or not. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj used to say that if you are always seeing that we are fasting, and if you are seeing that others are nicely honoring Ekadashi Prasad 1 time, 2 time, or 3 time on this, so one should not go around and seeing that, okay, what are you doing? You are honoring Prasad today also. Do some Ekadashi, do some Vrata, do some austerity, at least eat once, or at least, actually, Maharaj says that rather than performing austerity, if one is feasting upon one's own false ego of performing austerity, better one's consciousness should be like this. Thinking like, see, he has perfected his life, or he is so glorious that he can be Krishna consciousness even after honoring Krishna Prasad on Ekadashis, means whatever Ekadashi Prasad. For me, it is required that I refrain from it and become more Krishna conscious. That should be one consciousness rather than feasting. Then Maharaj even says, if such kind of feeling is there while seeing other Vaishnavas, better you eat, but don't allow your false ego to be feasting in the name of austerity. Yeah. So right kind of austerities. And to be frank with whatever people do, so I still remember people do so many austerities outside also. I mean, Sunday vrata, sometimes people take one day, Tuesday vrata, Hanuman vrata, these vratas, good and fine. But uh, sometimes many of them, they don't know also why they are doing vrata, because just it's been told. But for all of us, we don't have in Krishna consciousness, whatever austerities, already there is sufficient austerities. Whatever austerities is given, we happily do it for the pleasure of Krishna. That should be the purpose, and that should happily do with whatever our body allows. And sufficient number of concessions. We have sufficient number of days for fasting every month. We have 2 Ekadashis. There are Nirjala Ekadashi throughout a year. There is some fasting for Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, and different acharyas half-day fasting. So sufficient number of austerities is given. Let us at least do them nicely and be Krishna conscious. And apart from that, yes, every devotee has, like some devotees do extra a different kind of austerities in Kartik month. Everything. The point is, remember this: whatever austerities we do it for the pleasure of Krishna. That is most important, not for what you call, for showing the superiority among others, or what you call, feasting on one's false involvement among austerity. Austerity should be such silent that it should not be known to anyone. Nobody should be able to figure out what's austerities. Our austerity should not be a display at all, at all. So that should be there. So that is, and there's a beautiful story in Ramayana. It comes when Vashishta, along with Lord Ram, goes to Mithila for the Swayamvar. So these the Purohits of the Mithila, that Janak Raj, when they are welcoming Vishwamitra Muni, they appreciate. So long back we came to your ashram, oh Vishwamitra Muni. There we saw so many ascetics, so many. Your ashram is filled with such austere personalities. So what was that? There were some sages with the highest level of standard of austerity were living on air. Only living on air they were. Others, the lesser standard were like they would live on just water. And the lowest category of austerity that one was performing is whatever falls as trees leaves, that they used to take. So they appreciate the austerities what they, when he's coming there. So they're appreciating the austerities. So, and we know that in Himalayas also, in different places also. But our austerity should be always for the pleasure of Krishna. We do not perform any austerity for unnecessary torturing our body and torturing the Lord within. Do whatever is best within our capacity. Make sure that, and we should pray to the Lord. Whatever I can do, I will do for your pleasure. So that will be next 10th one. Yeah. Bijamam sarvabhutanam viddhipartha sanatanam buddhimatam asmi tejasvinamaham. Okay. A request. Bhudal Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. O son of Pratap, know that I am the original seed of all existence, the intelligence of intelligent, and powerless of all powerful men.
Yeah. So please continue to read the purport.
Bijam means seed. Krishna is the seed of everything. There are various living entities, movable and inert, birds, beasts, men, and many other living creatures are moving living entities. Trees and plants, however, are inert. They cannot move, but only stand. Every entity is contained within the scope of 84 lakh species of life. Some of them are moving and some of them are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life is Krishna.
Yeah. So surely, like we find man and woman, or for that matter, any species, male and female, come in contact. It gives a particular kind of seed. Yes, particular kind of seed. But the original seed for all current varieties of species is coming from Krishna himself. So that is how. So he's an inexhaustible seed, Sanatan from him. The tree, like what happens with the tree? If the seed comes, it gives rise to, but the original seed is lost. But that doesn't happen with Krishna. That is one thing. Another meaning of Bijam, when he says that he is in the material world, he is the Pradhana. Pradhana also is a seed, because Pradhana is a main seed for giving different bodies to the different living entities in this material world, different bodies of devatas, animals, birds, or any different trees. So even as a Pradhan, he's saying that he's the seed for all the living entities in the material existence. That's true. So that's what it is. Okay. So here it is same continuing. Therefore, originally Krishna is the source of everything. He's the root. As the root of a tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna, being the original root of all things, maintains everything in material manifestation. So this is what he says. Okay. Please, bro, read this also. That is
One cannot do anything without intelligence. And Krishna also says that he is the root of all intelligence. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
Yeah. So here he says, this is 10th verse, like 3 items. So this is Bijanam Saranam, Vidhi Partha Sanatan. Buddhir Buddhimadam Asmi, he says here. And then Tejas Tejas. So Prabhupada is giving here already. So one cannot do anything without intelligence, and Krishna also is the root of intelligence. So yes, true. We know that people are having different capacities of intelligence, different levels of intelligence. In those days, we find there were this people like Ashtavadani, Shatavadani. Ashtavadani means one person can speak to what do you call around 8 people at a time. Means he takes cut at 8 people's questions and keep on answering one. That means he remembers all the 8 questions. And Shatavadani means have a discussion with 100 people. He'll take 100 questions or 100 and then immediately reply to the corresponding. So that was the power of intelligence. Even our own Acharya, Srila Jiva Goswami Pad, his guest Kanai Krishna Prabhu was mentioning. So he says that he was also, he was an encyclopedia of like the whole scriptures. For him, it's like you can imagine, now we have computer, we have many things, it is easy to refer in notes, easy to see things, many things, and do many things. But in those days, like intelligence was so sharp, so glorious, that for Jiva Goswami, it is said that like it was like a supercomputer with all the shastras in his mind. So his reference, that it's not, he used to write his book, and his books, if you see, his reference are coming that from this Upanishad, from this what do you call Puran, and from this Shruti, this all that he keeps on giving, because everything was there in his memory, so sharp. And the Sanskrit dictionaries were practically there in him. Like he says in his verses, saying that Amar Kosh, these are name of the Sanskrit dictionary. Amar Kosh says this, Medhini Kosh says that, Vishwa Prakash Kosh says like that. But we will take the meaning of Nirukta. See, one word, he could bring the different meaning from different dictionaries, everything, and which one appropriately applies at this place and all those things. It's very difficult for us to refer to a dictionary. We immediately either type on Google, search for a dictionary, or on our mobiles, word web or something like that. So that was the kind of intelligence. Buddhir Buddhimatam Asmi. Krishna says that. Even in the outside world, we find the scientists, philosophers, sometimes people having this. I long remember seeing the one Guinness Book of World Records. There was a person with, he would read from his 2 eyes, one page, another eye, another page, and then ask him what you later part of time, anytime you ask him anything, he will immediately say the same thing as it is. So people having that extraordinary capacity, and even to be frank with, they themselves also don't know how that capacity is there with them. It is just what you call the mercy of the Lord. It is coming from, there is no other reason, to be frank with. You ask this, many feats, many extraordinary feats are done by the living entities in the material world. Even in on a material level, they don't know. They just happen to do it. That's it. But they don't know the root, and nobody can also figure out the root where it is coming from. So it is coming. Whereas for us, it is very clear. Krishna is telling it is coming from me. And then Tejas Vasmiti, Tejasvinamaham, he says this. So Tejas is like related to the body. There are 2 things: agileness of the body, sharpness of the body. That is related to the that we find now people are very much quick in their actions, quick in their actions basically. Then ojas is sharpness of the mind. That's why people say ojas, like an aura or something like that. So tejas is more related to the sharpness or agileness, quickness of the body, and ojas is related to the sharpness of the mind. So that's how it is. So last and in this series, 11th. बलं बलवतां चाहं कामरागाभिवर्जितं धर्माविरुद्धो भूतेषु कामोऽस्मि भरतर्षभ. Okay, Shantanu.
I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of the Bharatas, Arjun.
This Prabhupada writes beautiful purport on this.
Purport. The strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life according to religious principles, dharma, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of the parents is then to make their offspring Krishna conscious.
Yeah, so here two items is very clearly. Kama raga vivarjitam. He says that balam balavatam chaham. Yes, this is mainly for the Kshatriyas. Kshatriya would like, but when he acts according to the dharma, he should be free from desire and attachment. Because what if he's full of what you call kama and raga, he will exploit. He's exploit rather than protection. He can go. So usually Brahmanas are there. They are glorified for their intelligence, buddhi, and Kshatriyas are glorified for their strength, balam, like that. So, and he says that then dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. He says this Narada, there is a way actually, if you see, so this dharma artha kama moksha, in that kama is there. It's one of the what do you call purusharthas, Sundar Purushartha. So there is a way, duties of the king, duties of the sages, duties of the brahmanas. So when King Dashrath met Vishwamitra Muni, so the how are you question is generally, we cannot ask great souls rather, how are you? Just how are you, what we use in an ordinary language or with each other when we are asking. That when Dashrath Maharaj asks, so he asks, how are your endeavors to conquer over birth and death going on to Vishwamitra Muni? So that is an appropriate way to ask. I remember one devotee, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj is there. He met him and said, Maharaj, Hare Krishna Maharaj, how are you? Maharaj saw him top to bottom and then said, I'm suffering in this cycle of birth and death. He answered him like that. So that devotee was shocked. I asked, then we told him, Prabhu, you don't ask sannyasis, there is an appropriate way to respect them. We pay obeisances, Dandavat Hare Krishna. so even the scriptures teach us what is an etiquette and this thing. Then in another conversation, Narada, when he meets Yudhishthira Maharaj, who's a king, he asks him, is there balance in your dharma, artha, kama, and moksha? Like that he asks. Is there balance in your... He understands. One who's in a grahastha ashram, one particular ashram, everybody has their duties to do. So yes, kama has its role in the grahastha ashram. So he asks, is there balance in your dharma, artha, kama, and moksha? Because if it is disbalanced, one is not living according to the what you call the one is not following the principles of dharma. So he asks. Similarly, all of us know that. So Krishna is not denying sex life. It is a part in a grahastha. Others, what else? No, why else he's entering into grahastha? Then one should have appropriate other ashram. So yes, then for the purpose is there very clearly. Bhagavatam also at one place. This Parikshit Maharaj, the initial Parikshit Maharaj married, I think Iravati, I think his wife. So he said, Bhagavatam says he married and had 4 children. Then Jiva Goswami in his commentary, he says that for the purpose of having 4 children, he got married. You see, that is different. His purpose is very clear. Why he is getting married? So Acharya so there should be a purpose, very clearly understanding what is the purpose behind it and what is the responsibility role one is supposed to take. So Krishna is not against sex life. He's saying that, which is dharma aviruddho. If it is aviruddho, then I am there. Is that because that is, you see, that gives an opportunity for a soul to become a co-creator apart from Krishna, bring new life to this world, take responsibility towards that life, and bring in connection to Krishna. So that's why it is glorified. So now in the verse 12, he sums up everything. So till now, whatever he has spoken, he sums up that we find here. Ye chaiva satvika bhava राजसास्तमशाश्च ये मत्ता एवेति तान् विद्धि नत्वाहं तेषु ते मयि. Okay, may I request our Dhairyavana Ram Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Know that all states of being, be it they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me.
Yeah, please continue to read this.
All material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from the Supreme Lord, Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the straight laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to the law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna. But Krishna is not subject to the material nature. Therefore, he is nirguna, which means that these gunas or modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. That is that is one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So he sums up saying that, see, so all this material, all of us know that on a base, everything in this bhava, this here the word, ye chaiva satvika bhava, this existence of satvika bhava or rajasas bhava, tamasa bhava, this we find, right? Everything in this world can be categorized in these three modes. We understand ultimately on the level. What is that? Like people are in three modes: the devatas in the mode of primarily in the mode of goodness, and humans in the mode of passion, and asuras in the mode of ignorance. And then we find you can categorize a place in terms of mode of goodness and passion. That is like forest in the mode of goodness, village and cities in the mode of passion, and places like brothel house or casinos and all that can be the place of ignorance. And food, Krishna himself says in 17th chapter, it will come food in the mode of goodness, food in the mode of passion, food in the mode of ignorance, time, morning time, mode of goodness, daytime, you find the mode of passion, night time. So everything in this world, if you come, matter is concluded in terms of this sattvika, rajas, and tamas. So that Krishna is telling, matta eveti. Please know, tan vidhi, please know that that is coming from me only. Again, but next sentence he says, Natwaham teshu te mayi. But I am not in it, or I am not in that. That means what? Everything is coming from him, it is dependent upon him, but he's not dependent upon that. He's not dependent upon that. Means material world is dependent upon him for his sustenance, for his existence, and all the three modes. And whereas he himself is not. That shows, that means he is not affected by these three modes. We find people are in these three modes, time and everything, and everybody is affected. Everybody is under the clutches of these three modes. The same topic is going to come ahead. But Krishna is clearly saying that I am not being affected by it. That's why Prabhupada says in the purport, if you find it, what he says, he's nirguna. He's nirguna. So here, this leads to a, after concluding here, this leads to a question later. Okay, so what is this gunas then? What is this guna? And what are these three modes? And what do you call, then Krishna is nirguna. Then how come, then how one can become also nirguna? By taking shelter of him, by surrendering to him. That thing is going to come up. So when he's saying that this nirguna, we should understand, I told you, jnana vijnana. So this is another vijnana aspect of the Lord. Jnana aspect of the Lord is, I told you, Aishwarya aspect, Ishvarata. How he's a source of the Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and controller of both. And when it comes to the Vijnana part, the Vijnana part is, this is one of the verses where Vijnana part. Why? He's beyond that. That means what? He has his own. See, Lord is transcendence and eminence. He has both. Transcendence means he's beyond this material existence. Immanence means he's within this material existence, pervaded. Even though he's pervaded, please note it. Even though he's pervaded, he's not affected by it. Like then Prabhupada gives a beautiful example in his distant. How king is a rule maker. He makes, so everybody is under the rules, but he's not affected by the rules. We find even when you go into that is all tolls, fast tag. We all need to have a fast tag. Our vehicle stops everything. But as soon as there are list of the names when the president, judge, PM of MP, on all the different categories of government people come, automatically they don't even ask anything for their fast tag. Every door is open because they're exception. Although they are also in the state, they are also, but they're exception. Similarly, why not? That applies to Krishna. That's why Krishna is nirguna. That means he is not affected by these three gunas. So this opens up after completing this section. So in the first section till 12 verses, Krishna begins with saying that to Arjuna, I will give you the complete knowledge. Please hear, I will give you the complete knowledge of Jnana and Vijnana. So Jnana, he covers in the section how he's, from him comes the Maya Shakti, from him comes the Jiva Shakti, how he's the controller of both. Everything emanates from him. He sums up like that. And then after that, he says how he is pervaded in what you call Sutre Manigyona, he's pervaded. Then he gives example how his perversion is there. And after that, he's summing up in this 11th verse saying that although he is pervading, everything is acting under these three modes, still he is not dependent upon it, but it is dependent upon him, like that. And next, so on next 13th and 14th, it starts with what are these three modes and how is this three modes affecting the living entity, and how the living entity, if he also wants to escape or come out of this effects of this three mode, what is supposed to do. So that is the new section which is going to start. Okay, next. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैर् एभिः सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्यः परम् अव्ययम्. See. Okay. Yeah. Deepak Sutardu, can you read it?
Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible.
Yeah. Please read.
The whole world is enacted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. There are four classes of men functioning in the three material modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. And those who are in the modes of both passion and ignorance are called Vaishya. And those who are completely in ignorance are called Shudras.
Yeah, please read this also.
So Lord Krishna says that living entities deluded by these three modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So that he makes it very clear. So here if you see it, is that. So this word, mohitam, this mohit, navijanati. Because the nature of this three modes, Trivir Gunamayir. The nature of these three modes, what is their nature? And it is practically there. The whole material universe has been covered by these three modes. So he's saying, but the nature of these three modes is it puts into illusion the living entities. Because of that illusion, he does not Nabhi Janati, he does not know whom, he does not know Mam, that is Krishna, as Param Avyayam, that I am, that's why that I am above these modes. That's why we find that what do you call? Krishna says that Mudohem na abhijanati. He says that people consider me as an ordinary living entity because they themselves are influenced in the modes. Then when you see others, somebody else, even the Lord comes, they feel that oh, he is maybe some special powers he may have, but he is also influenced by the mode. He is also suffering. We find that we see all that. Okay, Lord Ram also suffered when his wife went there, and Krishna also had tough time, and all those things people think because people are in that modes, and their thought process is also like that. So that's how they deny. So then why do they think like that? Because here it is saying mohitam, because these modes, what do you call, do not allow for the living entity to know very easily. So then the question comes is, okay, so then what will help to know, or what will help me to come out of it? So he goes into the detailed description about this mode in the next verse that we find. Yes, again, it's the same mode thing continues, but now he gives little more detailed information. And this is most famous and powerful verse. Daivihi esha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapajyante maya metam tarantite. Okay. Tanmay Prabhu.
This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Yeah. So you see, here this is interesting. So here, three adjectives or Maya is addressed with the three. See, first Krishna says, Mama Maya, is making it very clear. Whose Maya is that? He's saying, my Maya. It's very clear. So next, he says, then what is she? What are her adjectives? She is Devi. Prabhupada writes divine or transcendental, like that. I think yes, transcendental, Devi. Yes. And then she is Gunamayi. She's having this gunas. And third, she is Duratya. These three things Krishna is saying. What is that? So after saying that means Devi, transcendental. One meaning is transcendental. We'll see in Prabhupada also says why she is called divine or why she is transcendental. That the divine energy of mind, what we read in the translation. Another meaning of Devi is extraordinary or astonishing. She's almost like powerful like the Lord. She creates, all of us know that she creates such astonishing and extraordinary variety of things in this material world that one succumbs to them. She is expert at presenting such sense objects for persons. We find that she knows exactly how to hit on the weak point of any person. Weakness, like for the weakness of a man is woman, for woman it is man. Weakness for a greedy man is money. So like that. But and even somebody says, okay, somebody is in good knowledge, somebody is in good practice, even on somebody is in a sattva guna, let us say, she binds even in somebody in the sattva guna. Like we find people, when we try to give to Krishna consciousness to them, they feel like, because later, maybe they're from Brahmanical background, good living, no bad habits, no this thing. But she binds them with that sattva guna. So he feels like that, अरे हम तो जानते हैं, हम तो करते ही हैं, और आप करो, आपके लिए अच्छा है, because you don't know about this thing, you are new to this. So people have such kind of concept. That is a pride of what do you call that? In sattva there is knowledge and sense of happiness, because there is the sattva guna is mostly got by people with less sinful life or no sinful life from the past or even the current life. So That's even so, but she binds them even in the Sattva that they don't understand, but they cannot appreciate Krishna. They feel like everything is okay. I mean, we are anyway worshipping Ganesh, this Devata, that Devata. Every day we have our own rituals. What extra you want us to do? So that binding. So material happiness and material knowledge, and that is binding. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur Pad, he gives a wonderful, he gives another meaning of Devi. He said, Devi means, or Deva, it's not Devata here, Devi or Deva. It means one who sports in the sense enjoyment. One who sports in the sense enjoyment. That means who sports here? The Jivas. So that means Devi, therefore, means that which helps or which bewilders the Jiva by making him to sport in this sense enjoyment program in the material world. so the Maya is a bewilderer of the Jiva who is enjoying this Devi, the sense objects, who's having the sporting. The Devi means the sporting in sense enjoyment in this material world, and that has been facilitated by her. So that's why she is Devi in that sense also. Next is called as Gunamayi, as we saw. Gunamayi is very clear. She is having gunas. What is that? One she is possessing. That means Krishna has given her this what you call three gunas. That she possesses three gunas: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. You find this famous photo of BBT where Krishna is there and three Matajis are there and the people are working and all that, like mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. That has been represented like that. And so she controls this material world through this three modes. Or another meaning is rope. These are ropes. Like if somebody is tied with these ropes, how can you free yourself? Not one rope, two rope, three ropes. If one is tied with different kind of ropes, then so in this world we find people. That's why it become, if everybody's been with these ropes of three modes of material nature. So how can you think each other to be released until unless there is somebody who's not bound with these ropes? At max, each other one can give motivational talks saying that one day wo din aayega jab hum bhi bandhan se chutenge. That's what we can do. That's what many people do in this world, having nice motivational talks with each other, but do not understand how he is also bound, the other also bound. Yeah, how come everybody who's bound can release the other guy? So that's why we need great acharyas or the pure devotees of the Lord who are not bound by these ropes of material existence. And the third is, everybody knows that Duratyaya, very, very difficult to overcome, not so easy. She is very powerful, but she's not so easy to overcome. But then there is no hope. No, the next two lines: Mam eva ye prapadyante maya metam parintite. Mam eva. Actually, our Acharya speaks so wonderfully. Vishnu Chakravarti says that Krishna puts his hand here. He says that, he assures, saying that, please, Mam eva ye prapadyante. If you take shelter of me, I assure you without any doubt, you will be able to cross her. This is the only solution we find where to get out of these three modes of material existence. Otherwise, no. Krishna is himself is saying, but he says with putting his hand in his chest for hope for the living entity. But what is that one condition that one is supposed to do? Prapadyate, surrender, sharanapatti, pratipatti. That is expected. Means give up your controllership, give up your doership, give up your misidentification, trying to enjoy this world. So take shelter of me. And then surely, because he himself is not controlled by the modes, shelter of him or his pure devotees, both. His pure devotees is shelter as good as taking shelter of him only. So that's how the Lord promises, because it's otherwise it's very difficult to come out. So let's see what Prabhupada says. Okay, Aditya Tapalwar. Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Guruji. The living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord, but due to contamination by the inferior nature, matter, their illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nityabadha, or eternally conditioned. No one can trace out the history of his becoming conditioned at a certain date in the material history. Consequently, his release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult, even though that material nature is an uh, inferior energy, because material energy is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, which the living entity cannot overcome. Inferior material nature is defined herein as divine nature due to its divine connection and movement by the divine will. Being conducted by divine will, material nature, although inferior, acts so wonderfully in the construction and destruction
of the cosmic manifestation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, we're done.
Okay, fine. So here it's Prabhupada's saying that it's very difficult to trace out history when we fell here. What was our beginning? Which is the date? It's difficult to tell. That's why it's very difficult to tell. But how to get out of that is possible. That what is the solution? That's why somebody is fallen in the or how we fell and all those things can be asked later, but at least take a solution to end one's limit. But rather than questioning what you call, how did I come here? First, let me know that. We don't do that, right? When you are in emergency situation, first, would you like to get out of it, or first you would like to know the reason? How did I fall into that? No, it's as simple as that. Yeah, if you learn deeply into scriptures, we come to know there are sufficient reasons there. We don't say no, but still, I'm saying that the main program is how to get out. Not main program is keep on tracing out till the time I know the route. Even after let us know you come to know route also. Still, the program should be how to get out only, right? The program is not how to just know the route. Okay, know the route, but the program is laid for how to get out. That is most important. That one has to understand. And why she is divine is very clear. That inferior metal is defined as divine due to its divine connection and movement by the will of the Lord. Yes, everybody of us knows that her divinity is because she is connected to Krishna, and her purpose is in line with Krishna, because Krishna wants all the living entities completely purified, completely free from anarthas when he comes to the spiritual world. Otherwise, why will she let? That's why her task, it is a Herculean task for her. She herself is a pure devotee, but her task is like that. Sometimes we find that, like in the state also, the CM or PM, they have a jail, but the in charge of the jail, he is a good citizen only, no doubt about it. But the role he has, it appears to be like he is himself is very cruel. The role he plays like that, but because he wants to serve the state thoroughly, making sure that there should not be no citizens who is creating unnecessary mess. Similarly, Krishna has given the task to the to Maya, that make sure that all living entities are thoroughly pure. And in fact, her intention is also that the living entities goes from here and joins the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world. So her intent point of view, if you see, it's very divine. It's not like she's having any other program. But the living entity feels it's at a heavy program, which is sure. But when he understands and when he surrenders to the Lord, then it becomes easy for him. Okay, please continue.
Although, yes, Praji. Another meaning of guna is rope. It is to be understood that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion. A man bound by the hands and feet cannot free himself. He must be helped by a person who is unbound. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Lord Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Devotional service or Krishna consciousness can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of illusory energy, can order this insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul.
Yeah, so this is very clear. You see, Because once you surrender, Krishna can order her. Just like we find that Prabhupada used to give that example also. When you go to the people's home, owner house, he has a dog. When you are entering, when you want to enter his place, this dog is barking. But if you have, you know, you have a connection with the owner can just tell the dog, just instruct the dog, just Tommy or whatever he says, and just shuts it. That's it. And the dog just bees at the master's feet, and you can go ahead. So that's how the Lord can tell Maya Devi. So, but surrender is expected. Next, please complete it. This is
Yes,
important.
the word Mam Eva are also significant. Mam means unto Krishna, Vishnu only, and not Brahma or Shiva. Although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are almost on the level of Vishnu, it is not possible for such incarnations of Rajaguna, passion, and Tamoguna, ignorance, to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also under the influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya. Therefore, he alone can give release to the conditioned soul. The Vedas, Shveteshvara Upanishad 3.8 confirms this in the phrase Tam eva viditva, or freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur eva na samshayah. There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone.
So yeah, even Shiva has been saying, and it's very clear that Eva means the release, that liberation is in the hands of only Vishnu or Krishna, not in the other personalities' hands. So that is very clear. Okay, so yeah, Prabhupada, I just ending with one to say. The Prabhupada used to say that. That's one devotee asked, Prabhupada, if the purpose is to serve Krishna, why is Maya so strong? Even sometimes we all have this, but still okay. Now I understand she's having this, but my purpose is also very clear now. I want to serve Krishna only. What Prabhupada answered, Prabhupada said, because your purpose is not strong. Because all the temptations trouble us as long as we are not determined to serve Krishna. What does it mean? Your purpose is not strong. Simple. Your students, we find that during their exams, we find that exams is their focus. But all that they like, their favorite sports, favorite movies, favorite cricket match, or whatever is coming on that way, one who's determined to understand what is the purpose of his college study, surely he will keep all these temptations, which otherwise very much alluring, or in today's world, video games, which nobody can live it so easily. So these things he's ready to give up. He's ready to give up all these temptations, but focus upon his studies so that he can perform well. Similarly, that's the meaning of purpose. Means despite so many temptations of Maya and everything, because that is her purpose, that she will keep on checking. Oh, are you sure you don't want? Are you sure you don't want? But the student just doesn't get distracted with all this because he knows what to do with the studies, and the exams are coming up. Similarly, the devotee knows very clearly. Anyway, because of these allurements only, I am distracted in this material world. That's why I took to Krishna consciousness. Again, if I become determined and been allured by this and distractions and swayed away, then what is the purpose of my practicing Krishna consciousness? So then what does it mean to make our purpose strong? Simple. It means to surrender to Krishna and take shelter of him. Mamevaya prapaddante. That is very clear. So what is that prapaddante? What is that surrender? Oh, that is very wonderfully explained to us by our acharyas. Surrender is not passive, it's active. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that. Let us 6 elements of surrender. Anukulyasa sankalpa, pratikulyasa varchanam. Like that. All that verse, Gotupte varnam tata, rakshasha iti vishvaso, atma nikshepa, like that. Shadvita sharanagati. So one makes one accordingly when we live our life, and our acharyas have told our the how to surrender to Krishna. So when we follow this, then that's how we are surrendering to the Supreme Lord. And then slowly, according to our surrender, to the degree you surrender, ye yathamam prapadyante, to the degree you surrender, to that degree we get release from material clutches. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, she is Devi, she is Gunamayi, she is Nuratyaya. Not so easy to come out. Hare Krishna. So I would like to stop here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions, Prabhu?
Puji, one question है. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
who's asking? May I
Puji,
know?
Anil Puja. Anil
Okay,
Sahu.
Anil, Prabhu. Yes, Anil. Sir.
Yeah, Puji, you told in the it's a very wonderful discussion you have taken, Puji. So in the middle of the discussion, you told one point that liberation is only possible by Vishnu or Krishna. So, Puji, the different incarnation of Krishna or Vishnu, like Ram Avatar or Narasimha Avatar, so these are not coming under the
It's included. I mean to say is, I mean to say is Krishna when Vishnu or Vishnu Tattva, sorry, Vishnu Tattva.
Because I heard in
Vishnu
one
or
of the
Vishnu
lecture, Puji, I'm not sure it's correct or not, that when this Jai Vijay is there, na? So, hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Jai Vijay is there. So at that time they get the three incarnation things. So when he coming into the first incarnation, like in Ram and sorry Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh, and then Ram and Kumbhakaran, and then in the third incarnation Shishupal and those things. So in the third incarnation only they will deliver. First and second incarnation they are not delivered. So it is like that only Krishna can deliver. Others incarnation of Krishna cannot deliver. I heard. I am not sure it is correct or not.
No.
No.
One usually, I mean, if you go into the depths, but yes, anybody, what do you call it? Why not? If somebody is practicing bhakti, any incarnation can deliver. No? What is the difficulty? For in particular, in that case, when these days, they have a particular, the pastime is flowing, and the three births has been, what do you call, assigned for particular purpose that they will take into, and then finally liberated by Krishna's mercy. So that was there. But this particular rendition that other incarnations cannot liberate, I never heard this. They are allowed to. Why not? Then otherwise, what will happen to the devotees of those incarnations? They will never get liberated, or what? Are there devotees of Narasimhadev? Are there devotees of Varaha? Are there devotees of Matsya, Kurma? Many are there. Right? What will happen to that? Can you imagine? Then they have to come only to Krishna? No. Then what will be the power of other incarnations also? Anybody is practicing devotional service. Because pure devotional service is not only towards Krishna, right? It is for Krishna or any of his incarnations. Can be for Rama, it can be for anybody. ठीक है प्रभु? Yes. Yes, Abhishek Zardag. Yes, Prabhu.
Just in addition to Anil Prabhu's question, is it that when Krishna kills any demon, they goes to Golok Vrindavan, and when other Vishnu Tattva is killing them, then they just get celebration?
No. When Krishna kills, it's very clear, they get liberated. The Putana has been killed. And special cases, if he wants, he can give. See, but priests try to understand. Krishna kills, like many of the living entities, when they get liberated, we said, he gives, liberation. See, to same what the jnanis and the yogis achieve. So that is a glory of the Lord. When he killed some of the demons, we find, and some extra mercy, if he wants to give, he can give to people like Putana, taking them to Golok also. He can do that also. He's independent, right? But usually, when the demons they are mostly liberated into the Brahmajyoti aspect. Some of the demons directly, there are two kinds of liberation. One is, what do you call it, into the body, and one is into the Jyoti, like that. It's possible. And in Goloka, no, even if you see what do you call our Putana, see, she's not given that role. She's just a Dhatri. She's given the nurse role. this thing, assisting in this thing. Surely that much Krishna surely knows it. She's not like Yashoda Mai. Please don't mistake that she's given the position of Yashoda Mai or not. And some exception cases are there. And why Lord does that? It's very difficult to know. And because he's independent Lord, right? He can give anybody any mercy. Quite possible. That's it. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Avinash Munde, yes, Prabhu. Avinash Prabhu.
Prabhuji, reference is not given for Lord Shiva's formation. Any idea from where it is?
What? It is from Padma Puran. He's speaking to Ghanta Karan. Ghanta Karan is a devotee in Badrinath. There is a temple of Ghanta Karan. To him he speaks. Because previously, why his name is Ghanta Karan is Ghanta Karan. He puts in his ear one Ghanta not to hear Vishnu's name. So anybody says Vishnu's name, he puts Ghanta so that he doesn't learn. Later, because he was a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva. And later when Lord Shiva comes in, he says to him that only Vishnu is there. So, so as per my knowledge, is from Padma Puran. Is that okay? Okay. Anybody else?
Prabhuji, one thing, Ras.
Yes, sir.
It is said that man's life is also due to Krishna, like duration of life. But is it not because of karmas and like it is decided by karma, but Krishna can interfere and change it.
Yes.
Is it like that?
Yes. Why not? What do you think?
Yeah.
He can
Krishna
change.
can.
He can
But
change.
it's decided by one's karma only. No? Like
Yeah, see, in general for living entities, also, the life air, you see, for many things in the body, see, if you see the, like Shantanu Prabhu said, immediate cause, remote cause, and ultimate cause. Ultimate cause is the Lord is always there, right? Our life air and all those things. So quite possible, Prabhu. Quite possible, as you are saying now. So yes, he can increase the life, decrease the life, and according, you see, in general, he does not interfere with what you call flow of the living entities karma in this world in general. But if somebody takes to bhakti, there is special consideration by the Lord because he comes into the attention of the Lord. But on the remote level, yes, all the living entities are sustaining because of his mercy only. Even in the material world, our sustenance and all these things. We find in the pastime of, if you remember, if you know our Jayadev Goswami's pastime, there are some what you call thieves and all those and caused inconvenience to him at what point of time. And later I'm cutting the story short. So they spoke lies, and they spoke lies. So the Mother Earth could not what you call bear that, and immediately she parted and put these guys, and she closed him. I mean, their life was completely ended in no matter of time because they just spoke the lie, and the Lord could not. And it's understood on the background that Lord can take away the life, Lord can prolong the life, quite possible, right? But in general, everybody's lifespan in this world is more or less decided as per, as you mentioned, as per the karma and all those things, activities. But it is supported by whom? That is a question. Supported by whom? Supported by the Lord. So that's why when we are saying that lifespan or is the life air, so he's supportive. Is that okay, Prabhu? Anybody else, Prabhu? So here one Arjun Sadhu. Does everyone coming to ISKCON is actually destined to Golok, or they will realize who's their Ishtadev once they become pure devotees of that? Prabhu, if we are worshipping Krishna, based upon our bhava, the destination will be decided. But usually, Krishna's devotees means they will go to Golok, Vrindavan, or Dwarka, or Mathura. These are the three places where Krishna is there. So according to what kind of bhava one develops, that's will be his destination. And if you want to know more, but yes, everyone in coming to ISKCON, I mean, yeah, you can say. But so what he developed, better that's important. Wonderful. If he's coming to ISKCON, but he's liking what you call other deity, then surely what do you expect? His bhava is, or his nature, his bhava is towards that deity, towards Lord Ram and all those things. We find even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, although Anupam was chanting holy name also, but his attachment to Lord Ram cannot be given, surely. So his destination was towards Lord Ram. Similarly, although in our devotees, but majorly because everybody who comes to ISKCON, usually they worship Krishna, and Krishna is the center of their lives, usually. So the destinations can be any of it according to the development of the bhav. And the details of that are there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What kind of bhava one develops and what kind of destination one gets. But majorly, yes, Prabhu, because we are devotees of Krishna, so the destination will be Krishna. Of course, for that, one has to become pure devotee also and develop that nature and pure bhava towards Krishna. Then according to one's bhava, one gets a destination. Is that okay, Arjun Sarthi Prabhu?
One question.
Oh, wait. Arjun Sarthi Prabhu, are you there? Not sure.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Who's there? Anil Prabhu. Yeah,
yes, man.
please.
You told about 2 points. You told about Gyan and Vigyan. So
Okay.
Gyan are those qualities which are the Aishwarya Bhav of the Lord. Just to know that it called as a Gyan. And Vigyan means by following the Lord, we can also develop that qualities. This is called Vigyan. You give the example of Nirguna Bhoji. But I remember that you told that Gyan aspect is to understand what are the qualities, and to follow by surrender to Krishna, we can also that quality, we can also become Nirgun. That is called Vigyan aspect. So my understanding is correct, Bhoji?
No, you see, Jnana and Vijnana. Jnana is the Aishwarya aspect of the Lord. So knowing about that Aishwarya aspect of the Lord is Jnana. Vijnana is the sweet, the sweetness of the Lord, Madhurya Jnana of the Lord. So in these verses, what comes as Jnana is those, what is that when Krishna is doing the Bhumi Rapo Nolo Vayukham Mano Buddhirevacha, that verse means he's defining his Maya Shakti. And then later he's telling about what he calls this another Aparayamitas Twanyam. He says that this is another, and there, which is that he says that Jiva Bhuta Mahabhava. He is that telling that Jiva Shakti. So that is, and he's the controller of both. So his Ishwarata is being defined. So that is in, you see, these are in principle, it can go in details, but this is in principle when Krishna is telling. And what is that Madhurya aspect where he is saying that, what you call, when he's saying that Manushanam Shasheshu Kashidati Siddhe Yastama Kashimam Veti Tatvataha, that Tatvataha, he's saying, right, who can understand me? That very rare knowledge. That is that, what you call, Vignan aspect. Another Vigyan aspect is not related to this, what you call his Aishwarya aspect, right? About his, how he's a controller, how he's related with Maya. No, is completely when that Nirguna aspect also, when I said, it is what? Nirguna means what? Where is he? Nirguna means he has his own place in the spiritual world. He has his own pastimes, his own devotees, everything is going on in the spiritual world. That is his Madhurya aspect. Getting the point? So when it is dealing with Jnana aspect, it is Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and he himself, how he is a controller, and those aspects in principle has been talked about. And when he's speaking about Vignan aspect, how is Nirguna, how is not affected by